Hello, everybody. This is Famous Tremaine, and this is my video on the unfortunate destruction of the Queen's Court. It will come back when Foreman comes back in. We don't know yet. Um, T.S. Madison basically owns the Queen Court. Khia is now doing her new show, Gag Order. So, you know, the thing that everybody's talking about now is the DC club that they were at. I think it was Sunday and Saturday or Sunday. Now everybody's talking about how it went down. Now I'm in Baltimore, which is 45 minutes to an hour from DC. It's not a big deal. Driving to DC is really not that far. So I actually contemplated going to this DC show, but I said, you know what? The club is going to be crowded. They're going to be late, and they're not going to do a full show. And when I say full show, they was from what I understood, from what they were saying before, was they were going to do a live Queen's Court on stage. So they were going to sing the song Next Caller, and then they were going to do Queen's Court live, which could have been fun to see them interacting live during the Queen's Court at the club. And I said no. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. Things ain't right. I'm going to be so mad because it snowed. The show was Sunday because it snowed on Saturday. Khia was talking about it snowed and did this. By Sunday, roads were clear. So don't even let that, sink in. That it was like we had this big old blizzard. No. Roads were clear. And basically, what I understand, it's now a he said, she said, they said situation. Khia has her side, Madison has her side, and the promoter has his side. They've all thrown the promoter under the bus. Basically, the whole thing was people paid for a Khia and T.S. Madison meet and greet, as well as them performing the song. Khia didn't come to the meet and greet because she hadn't gotten paid yet, which I completely understand. But business just wasn't done right, and the promoter actually went online to give his excuse. I'm going to read what he wrote about why she was paid late, which is why I say the destruction of the Queen's Court. Because as much as I love T.S. Madison, as much as I love Khia and T.S. Madison together, we're literally watching them rise to the top, and then we're watching them like fall, and I don't like it because I want them to win. But the things that we're hearing about that's going on behind the scenes, because now T.S. Madison dropped a video to give her side of the story, saying, she's just going to put it all out there, and whatever happens with Khia in the Queen's Court happens with Khia in the Queen's Court. But she's still saying she's hopeful Khia will come back to the Queen's Court. And so basically what happened was Khia didn't get paid in time. So T.S. Madison was at the club at 1 a.m. waiting for Khia. T.S. said that when she found out that Khia hadn't gotten paid yet, T.S. paid Khia a fee out her own pocket to be she would just get reimbursed by the promoter so she could come. So Khia got paid at 2 a.m. according to T.S. Madison, and was at the club by 2:30 a.m. because Khia wasn't leaving her hotel until she had a PayPal notification that she got her money. So as you can see, it was a mess. So they completely missed, because TS wasn't coming out without Khia, so they completely missed the VIP meet and greet. And Khia said that she did talk to some fans and take a few pictures, but then she was out. She admitted that she didn't really stick around much after the song. In her video, she said that. And then Khia also threw T.S. Madison under the bus when, she was saying that T.S. stole Queen's Court from her and that she's a thief, which is why T.S. Madison came out with her video saying, look, I'm not a thief. You're not going to call me a thief. You were sitting right here when I paid for the website for Queen's Court, and when I paid for the name, the trademark for the name Queen's Court. But as she said in the prior video, Khia said she wasn't coming out her pocket for nothing. So T.S. Madison is the one who's been spending all the money for the show, and Khia has simply basically been a talent. But when you come out your pocket and you're paying for this stuff, you own it. So no matter whether Khia was doing Queen's Court before T.S. Madison or not, it doesn't matter because she trademarked the name. So Khia cannot use the name Queen's Court, which is why she started calling her new show Gag Order. So in T.S. Madison video, she got a little deeper and she went and started talking about how, and pulling receipts, because people like to see receipts, that she was showing that Nicki Minaj sent a letter that they had been corresponding about doing a Queen's Court TV show. And then she even showed that Will Packer was also involved in trying to do a show with T.S. Madison in the Queen's Court. But after everything that went down with Monique, he declined doing the show with them. So when T.S. Madison and Khia were hinting that big things were coming, they were talking about the Nicki Minaj deal. They were talking about the Queen's Court deal. And now T.S. Madison is left scrambling to sort of fix, to save the show with or without Khia, even though she keeps saying with Khia. Now, part of me feels like it's a publicity stunt, that if Khia shows up March 19th on the Queen's Court, then I might feel like, maybe this was a setup for the ultimate promotion bait and switch marketing. In a way, it would be genius because they've got so many people talking about the Queen's Court and it's building. The anticipation for March 19th. Will Khia be there? Will Khia not be there? Their numbers are going to probably be higher than if Monique had actually done the episode. So, but I don't think that, because Khia simply seems like she gives 0 Fs about what's going on with T.S. Madison, even though they keep calling each other sisters. But they throwing low key shade at each other, not enough shade that they would simply hate each other and couldn't come back together. Because on Khia's video, she's saying that promote us, book us both, for the Gag Order in the Queen's Court, and we'll both be there. So Khia is still promoting that she may not be willing to do the show for YouTube or Facebook or Instagram Live or whatever they're doing, but she's more than willing to come out in public and do the show. And Khia is describing the show as a live version of the Queen's Court on stage with cases on the docket. So that's why I said, could it be potentially a publicity scam to get people to be even more interested in them, while T.S. Madison is working on the sets and different things to do? Because she says she's trying to do bigger and better, because when you have Will Packer and Nicki Minaj and all these people trying to, and they, as she said, executives watching the show and watching what they're doing, I can see why T.S. Madison want to come back bigger, better, and stronger than ever. And she's a firm believer that Khia and her as a team work better than they do separately. But I'm going to read you what the promoter said online, the Omega Party DC. Omega Party DC, okay, I heard that at Khia Thug Misses has been trying to put the onus of not meeting and greeting with her fans Saturday night on the DC promoters. I've been trying to keep my peace on this matter, but since you brought it up, let's have at it. Omega DC Party, okay. I heard that it has been trying to this is the longer version. First of all, let's make one thing real clear. You got your back in for the DC show at 1:20 a.m., not 2. And the reason you got it a little late is because you were on your divisive diva mode. You wanted to stay in a separate hotel and have separate transportation for Madison, which costed us a lot more. Furthermore, we hired y'all as a unit, yet we had to drop off you guys back in separately, which cost us some time. And while you're here making excuses for your unprofessionalism, T.S. Madison did get to the club on time at 1 a.m. and she was ready to go, waiting on your ass. You got to the club, you did the bare minimum of getting on stage and perform one song and decide to leave. When we asked you to take a couple of minutes to meet and greet the fans, your answer verbatim was, fuck the fans. You are most unprofessional, and you are digging yourself right back into irrelevance where you belong. You don't have to worry about us ever hiring your dumb ghetto ass again, and I pity the next fool who will. So the promoters are coming out. DC promoters are coming out swinging in regards to why they came up with Khia payment late. But this also paints a picture of T.S. Madison and Khia not being on the same page, because if Khia and T.S. Madison said in her previous video that she hadn't talked to Khia on the phone since she walked out on a Monique interview, and that had been like 2 weeks. So she hadn't talked to her in 2 weeks, and then Khia wants separate hotel and separate transportation, and then they're getting their money separate or however they were doing it. So I don't know how the money part of it truly went, because T.S. Madison saying that she had to pay, and at 2 a.m. they're saying they had the money for Khia at 1:20 a.m. I don't know what's going on with that part, but it's a mess. I am so glad I did not go to DC. I'm so glad. I trusted my instincts, and I said I am not going to waste my time going to DC and seeing T.S. Madison and Khia probably for one song in a crowded club that is going to be hot, and I'm going to be disappointed. The last person I went to see live was Crystal Waters at the Paradox here in Baltimore. I'm good friends with Wayne Davis, who owned the Paradox. The Paradox is gone now. It closed. Unfortunately, it was like the only major black after hours in Baltimore, and I went to see Crystal Waters. She was late, coming to the stage, because they're always late coming to the stage. So, but I'm an old head, so 90s music, 90s club music. I said I've never seen her before. Let me just see her live one time, so I can say that I've done it. Went with some friends, and I had a good time. She sang like 4 or 5 songs. I was good. But Khia and T.S. Madison, with all the things going on, I knew the show was going to be a mess. It was. So, and plus it snowed the day before. So, that might have slowed traffic a little. But I'm so glad I didn't go to the show. This is such a mess. But I am a huge fan of T.S. Madison. I was a fan of T.S. Madison way before Khia came along. On Facebook, saw one of her posts that was funny, and so I clicked that like button so that Facebook would, when she drops a video, I would know it. Just like I hope you subscribe to me and watch me when I drop a video. But I'm going to end this video by saying one thing to T.S. Madison. I don't know if it's a publicity stunt. I would love it if the two of you mended fences and did the show together. It was funny. It was entertaining. However, I'm also a producer. And years ago, I had a show here in Baltimore that was coming on a local TV station. And one of my actors quit. And I was devastated, because I was like, oh my God, how's the show going to go on? Because this person was so talented and funny. And, and then the very next day, he got replaced like that. And I was like, wow, I'm shocked. And then we had another lady that was on our show, and her husband was very jealous, and he didn't like her being around all these men. So he would come and mean mug us and just like make everybody uncomfortable. And then she was in a scene with one. Keep in mind, this is a comedy series. This ain't a drama. There was no love scenes. There was no kissing. They were in comedic sketches. And the husband got real upset because she was in a scene with a guy. I guess he was attractive. So they went out in the hall, and then they started arguing, and she came back. And then she was like, well, I can't do the show anymore because I can't lose my marriage over my acting career. So I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. She's gone. What am I gonna do? In a lot of times when you find somebody who's reliable, who memorizes their lines, and when they're really good for the show, you as a producer, as a writer, as a director, you know this. So I was really thinking the show had a great loss. I did a casting call, and a week later, she got replaced. And when he got replaced and when she got replaced, they were replaced with people that were more talented and lasted longer on the show than the two of them did. And it taught me a lesson that, one monkey don't stop no show. And there are a lot of talented people out there, and sometimes things just happen. Sometimes change comes in your life. You may not like it, but it causes you to work harder and to do more and to push and to excel. And then new people come in your life that give you the tools that you need to excel and exceed. So Khia might not be what the Queen's Court needs. I like Khia. I like the two of you together. But if Khia has her own show, Gag Order, coming on every Monday, if she's dissing you, don't want to be in the same hotel as you, don't want to be in the same car as you, don't want to be paid at the same time as you, then that's a problem because you're no longer a team. If she's going on camera telling people that you're a thief and you're stealing her show, that's a problem. So if the Queen's Court continues, I would say do like the Talk do like Regis and Kelly did, do like The View did, do like The Real did. Have a series of guest hosts come in, the person that the audience likes the most, that you connect with, that you really feeling like that, then you keep that host. But just have a bunch of guest hosts come in and see which one sparks and lights that fire and gets the show popping again. So if you can mend fences with Khia, good. You and Khia work well together when you're doing the Queen's Court. But if you can't get it together, then you can't get blood out of a turnip. If it ain't gonna work, if it's broke and you can't fix it, then sometimes you just gotta start over. And so I wish Khia the best. I wish T.S. Madison the best. But, Madison, do not be afraid to get a new co-host. Just like I would say the same thing to Khia. If your show Gag Order becomes a success, I don't think you'll come back to Queen's Court because you love to do it on your own. And I'm sure you've got friends too. You may want to have a friend come on, and Khia may have a new host that knows that she's in charge and, she does everything like she does everything. And you have a new host, and maybe y'all guest on each other's show every now and then, show that y'all still friends. And, just don't let it die. But I hope you guys work it out one way or another. And I wish you both the best. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And in the comment section, if you have any advice for T.S. Madison and Khia, please put what you think in the comments. I'm actually tired of defending them on Facebook, and where people are really roasting the hell out of them, and I'm in there defending both of them. But Khia, is getting kind of hard to defend you. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and check out my other video I just did about Donna on Black Ink Crew, and I got a new Married Medicine video coming for you, and I just got a text from a buddy of mine who wants to do a little co-hosting with me. So, let's see if that works out. I'll do a lot of solo videos, but I think it'll be fun to co-host with this particular friend. So thank you for watching, and I will talk to you again soon.